What in the world is going on in California? Recent polls have indicated, according to UC Berkeley and UC San Diego, that half of Californians have considered moving to another state. And millions have already moved to other states. In 2020 alone, over 650,000 Californians relocated to other states. So why are so many Californians relocating to other states? And more importantly, why are they moving to Texas? Let's talk about it. In a recent Texas relocation report, Texas welcomed over 500,000 new residents and only exited about 400,000 out of the state. So that's a net gain of about 100,000 new residents in just 1 year. Another report indicated that the highest number of new Texans relocating from another state came from, which state do you think? California. So why is Texas so attractive to Californians? Let's start with the cost of living. The cost of living in California is very high, relatively speaking. According to the California Association of Realtors, the median sales price of a home in May of this year was close to $900,000. The only other state that has a higher median price of a home is Hawaii. The median sales price of a home in Texas was only $362,000. And it's not just the home prices that are more expensive in California. Gas, utilities, transportation, those are all more expensive in California than in Texas. California also has the highest state income tax in the nation with 13%. Versus Texas with no state income tax. Another big contributor to Californians relocating to Texas is the quality of life. So we all know that California is known for its great quality of life, and we're not just talking about the entertainment, just the beaches or the weather. We're talking about those other factors that affect day-to-day living. One of the major issues is the increase in homelessness in California. From 2020 to 2021, homelessness increased by 7% in 1 year. California has approximately 160,000 homeless people, which is 5 times the amount that Texas has. And along with quality of life, we have to talk about the political climate that drives a lot of movement just between Texas and California. California is known as a more liberal state, while Texas, of course, is a little bit more conservative. In fact, there's a big thing that goes around Texas saying, "Don't California my Texas." So that is a driving factor for a lot of folks relocating from California to Texas, is to explore a different political climate. Another factor affecting Californians moving to Texas is work opportunities. So the pandemic did show us that we can work remotely, work from home, and still get the job done. So this presents a great opportunity for Californians to relocate to a state like Texas with a lower cost of living, but still hold on to that California employer and income. It's a win-win, actually. And I can't leave this topic without talking about entrepreneurship and small businesses. Texas is a business-friendly state. So a lot of entrepreneurs, big businesses and small businesses are relocating to Texas for that very reason. Another big contributor to Californians relocating to Texas is they are cashing in on their home equity. So as I mentioned earlier, the median sales price of a home is nearly $900,000. And if you bought your home 10, 15 years ago, chances are you probably paid off $400,000 to $500,000 of that loan. So I'm seeing a lot of Californians sell their home in California and pay cash for a house in Texas. And by paying cash for a house in Texas, the size house that they're getting, they are usually blown away by how much house they get compared to what they were paying for that same house in California. I can even remember hosting an open house at one of our listings, and a couple from California, who one of them happened to be a realtor, was sharing just kind of the reasons why they were relocating and how much house they could get for the money, and they would be able to pay cash. So it is very, very common to hear these stories of people relocating from California and sharing that they can't believe, one, how much house they get, but also they're able to pay cash and not have a mortgage. Another contributing factor to Californians moving to Texas are the wildfires. So yes, California doesn't have hurricanes or mini tornadoes, if any, but California does have a lot of wildfires. In fact, it's very common for us, even in Texas, to hear on the news about different wildfires popping up in California and destroying millions of acres of land. By the end of 2021, there were over 8,800 fires in California. Those fires destroyed over 2.5 million acres of land. And along with those millions of acres burned, there were over 3,600 structures that were also destroyed. This has been a big issue over the past years. Experts believe the cause of this is climate change, and it's not going away anytime soon. And to be fair, Texas has wildfires too. We just don't have them to the extent that California does. Another contributing factor to Californians relocating to Texas is the traffic and congestion. A 2021 report from TREC determined that California had the worst traffic in any state in the US. That same report had Texas ranked as 11th as the worst traffic. Los Angeles and San Francisco will typically rank high on a worst traffic cities in the country list. And if you've ever driven in these cities, you definitely understand why that would be. So traffic's not great here in Texas either. I mean, cities such as Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, Houston, we all see the traffic that goes on there, but I'm pretty sure it's not nearly as bad as the traffic that some of the major Californian cities see. So those are some contributing factors to why Californians are relocating to Texas. And honestly, I'd probably be in that number 2 if I lived in California. So what do you think? Is there anything that I'm missing on this list? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.